Top of the morning to you all. Welcome back to BNF Asia. This morning I'm down at my favourite place outside of restaurants and bars and beaches, down at the morning market to get some raw ingredients, and they will be very raw. And then we're going to head back to the kitchen and cook you up some snags and some burgers. So as I say, it's a beautiful day, and Dickhead here is going to spend it in the kitchen. So we'll have a wander around the market, see what we need to pick up. We've got to get some 2 kilos of pork neck, which is like Boston butt, scrag end of the Boston butt, and that's got a good ratio of fat to meat in it. It's about a 60-40, great for sausages. And then we're going to get some buffalo, which is very lean for the burgers, and I'm going to do about a 50-50 mix buffalo and belly pork. So we'll get that, shop that in the market, and we'll get it home, rattle the pots and pans, and make some snacks together. Catch you in the kitchen.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. As it's obvious you're here to watch the vid, it means you are already on our vlog page right here. We hope you're enjoying it so far. We have just a quick message from our channel owners, BNF Asia. They'd like to ask a small favor of you. In order for the channel to grow and reach a wider audience, they need to feed the YouTube algorithm, and it likes nothing more than engagement from you, the audience. Can we ask you to take a moment to hit the subscribe button right here if you are not already a subscriber? And if you like the vid, please hit the thumbs up button too. If you have friends that you think may like our content, then please hit the share button. This really helps broadcast the channel wider. Also, if you have enjoyed watching, please let us know. Drop us a message down here in the comment section, or ask us a question if there's anything you need to know. Well, let's get you back to the vid. Thanks again for watching.
Right, so here we are in the kitchen. Been a while since we've been here. The last time we were here, we made a bit of bread. Sausages today. I will also do some burgers at the end. So stay to the end if you want to see the burgers, buffalo burgers. So we got ourselves from the market some nice pork neck, which is, as I say, it's Boston butt. That's what you want. It's about a 60-40 meat ratio. I'm going to get going on hacking this up. I'll speed things up while I do that. That's us done with the cubing. We've got 2 kilos of pork neck, Boston butt if you like. And what we're going to do is we're going to season that and let it sit in the fridge for about 2 hours. Longer if you can do it overnight. I've got a mix here which is from a company called Dunn Rite. It is actually a sage sausage mix. These are Thai based. Dunn Rite. If you want to look at it there. Dunn Rite is a seasoning mix for sage sausage. Now, the instructions on the packet say for 1 kilogram of pork, you want a full sachet of this stuff. No, you don't. It is super strong, super salty, and super sagey. I've gone with a heaped tablespoonful, and we're just gonna sprinkle that over the cubed pork, along with my all-time favourite, which is Moulin Rouge. It is a Montreal style chicken spice. But it's got, you can have a look at it there. It's got garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, and chilies in there also to give it a bit of heat. I use this on absolutely everything. It just is a well-balanced blend. So what we're going to do now, that needs to be mixed right in. Give it a good stir around. Make sure the meat gets a nice even coating. And you can then go into the fridge with that for, as I say, 2 to 3 hours if you can. If not, don't worry, you can do it maybe an hour. Perfect if you can do it overnight. Cover it up or put it in a Ziploc and just let all of those flavours meld in with the meat before we start to grind. So now our meat's been in for a few hours. The seasoner's had a time to get to work on the meat. All going in. That stuffing plate of the grinder. I'm going to go firstly through a coarse plate. So I've got 2 plates with this grinder. I've probably got more, but I only ever use 2. I use the coarse and the fine. We're going to get going on the grinder now. It'll be a little bit noisy, so I'll cut the volume down and play a little bit of music. The reason we've gone through the coarse plate first is 2 things. One is you're not going to kill the motor on your grinder, and you can put larger chunks in like I did, so you don't spend half your day cutting your pork into tiny little pieces. You can put them in big chunks as you saw, and the grinder will handle it through the coarse plate. Second reason, we need to check the seasoning. We need to get ourselves just a little bit of the mince. Just form a little ball. Helps if your fingers are greased slightly. But just form yourself a little ball, little patty. You put that in a frying pan, or what I'm going to do with it, because it's quicker, I'm going to whack that into the air fryer, and it'll take a couple of minutes just to brown up, and then we'll taste it. If we need a little bit more seasoning, now's the time to get it in, and then we put it onto a finer grind once, and then we'll go on to a fine grind when we're stuffing the sausages. So what we've got for the sausage stuffing is some casings. These are bought online. They are natural sausage casings. You just get them on the internet. They come packed in salt. They have been totally cleaned. You can keep them in the fridge for a long time. And they're in kind of handleable lengths, maybe a metre and a half, stuff like that. So you untangle them a little bit, and what I do is I'll put them in, I'll give them a wash, I'll give them a rinse in cold water, get all that salt off, then leave them to soak in water with a cap full of vinegar, apple cider vinegar I use. You can use a bit of lime juice or lemon juice. What that does, if there is any kind of odour, because it's a pig's intestine at the end of the day, it just takes that odour away, so there's no stinky smells or anything like that. So there is a bit of prep needed, but very little when they come to you, delivered to you. As I say, I get mine online. So once they have soaked, they will go on to the stuffing horn on the stuffer. But we'll get back to our taste test now and see what comes out the air fryer, see whether we need to add anything. So we've got our little patty here, out the fryer, out the air fryer, pretty quick. Just let it cool down before you give it a try, because this will be steaming hot. There's still a strong hint of sage coming through, which is good. You want that. That's nice. The garlic and the onion powder and the salt and pepper also coming through. So I'm happy with that. I don't need to add any more spice to it. That's going to go back through the grinder. I'm going to put the fine plate onto the grinder, and then we'll put that back in the fridge, because what you don't want is the meat to get warm coming through the grinding plate, because the fat content just starts to smear, and once you cook it, you lose it. So you want to keep your fat and the meat as cold as possible. So I'm going to leave the mince in the fridge for another hour, then I'm going to send it through the fine plate, and I'm going to put it in the fridge for another hour again, and then we're going to be ready for stuffing. So we've got the meat grinder ready and cleaned, and we've got the hose on, the nozzle on, which takes the sausage skin. I've fitted 4 lengths of sausage skin, all about a metre each. That should be plenty. I probably won't make sausages out of all of this 2 kilo. I'll save the sausage mix. You can freeze it, you can use it again, you can put it in pot pies, you can put it in sausage rolls, however you want. So we'll get started on that. As I say, we've got here the nozzle with the sausage skin on it for packing. I'm going to get going on this now. I'm going to start this up, and we shall let a little bit of the sausage meat come through before we tie it off. And then I'll turn the volume off because it's going to be pretty noisy. We'll get these all stuffed, and then I'll show you how, or one of the ways you can link them. Hello. So as I did last time, we've got to the end of one lot. I'm going to pop take a little bit of the meat out of that, which comes to the end. I'm going to pop a knot in it, and then I'm going to link these. That one's come out quite nicely as far as packing goes, because I was using the overarm technique on that one. It's a lot easier to control the meat coming out in that way. They're pretty good. That's not too bad at all. So, get the 2 ends together, knot them up. Again, just on a double shoelace knot. With no special knots, but your fingers will be a bit greasy. There you go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pinch the bottom there, and that's going to be the bottom link with a twist. You've got 2 long sausages now, and the best way to do it would be probably just grab them in the middle like that, twist, and then you've got 2 links roughly the same length, and you'll pop another 2 there, and then they're pretty much all the same size. And it doesn't really matter what size they are. The sausages, you go on a plate, on a barbecue, whatever you want. So I'm going to get these last ones done now. I think I will put all of this mince in. There's no harm in having a freezer full of sausages. So as I said, we're just giving these sausages a quick poach now. We've got a little bit of olive oil in the pan with the sausages. We're going to stick a lid on it. Just let those poach for a couple of minutes, and then we'll turn up the heat a little bit just to evaporate the liquor off. So I'm just going to turn these now, give them a quick flip. The water has evaporated. I'm not going to damage the skins on them. And as you can see, they're just starting to fry now. We'll keep an eye on them, low and slow. So there we have it, with a little bit of English mustard on the side. Freshly made sausages by my own fair hands. Let's have a little look at that. That's nice. Put some mustard over there. Here we go. Now mustard's got a kick. Plenty of sage coming through there. Gonna have one without the mustard. Good old English bangers. So if you want to give them a go, I can put the recipe below for you. It's very, very simple. You're going to need a grinder. The grinders are not expensive. You can pick them up in most appliance stores now, most home appliance stores. Right, so it's burger time. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to do some nice burgers using lean buffalo. That's fresh from the market this morning. Half a kilo of buffalo and half a kilo of belly pork. So you've got your fatty side of it with the belly pork, I should say. So again, that comes out with the belly pork, with the buffalo being so lean and the belly pork being about 50-50 fat meat ratio. You're talking, again, about 60-40, 40 on the fat. So we'll get that chopped up and we can start grinding it and spicing it then. Let's speed things up a bit. So there's all our mix, our buffalo meat and our belly pork. What we've got is, for the mix, we are using the good old Moulin Rouge chicken spice. As I say, that's garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, and salt and pepper. It really does give a good mix of spice. I've also put a half teaspoon of thyme, dried thyme in there. It gives it a nice flavour. I like using rosemary with beef, but it can be a little bit overpowering. So thyme is the way to go. So that's all the spice mix. I'm just going to run that over the meat. then we'll get in there with the hands and give that a really good mix up. Get every piece coated. And again, what we will do is we will put this in the fridge and really let those herbs go to work. If you've got a couple of hours, perfect. If you've got overnight, even better. We'll put them to bed now, and then we shall start with the grinding. Coarse blade for the burgers. We want a kind of rustic burger. We want to be able to do the squash plate on top of it when we cook it through. Okay, so the beef or the buffalo has been in the fridge for 2 hours now, along with the belly pork. That's just been sitting in those herbs, sleeping away. We're going to get this grind on the go, and then we'll do a little bit of a taste test. Okay, we've got the burger mince done. You can see the beautiful mix on that. Have a look on the other camera. It's really well incorporated together now, the fat and the beef and the pork. It's a really nice mix now. So it's been in the fridge after that second grind on the coarse plate. It's mixed well, and now we're ready to make some burgers. So what I've got is just a piece of wax paper, piece of baking paper, and a couple of egg rings, and then we go at it and we just pack up these pack up the egg rings with the beef mix. This gives you a pretty decent size burger. Just tuck it all in. You can do it with your hands if you want, and whack a pair of gloves on. Any which way you want to do it. Just make sure you got no air bubbles in there. Try and get the air bubbles out. Get the sides in. Bring them over into the middle, and then you can push the middle down. That expels the air nicely. So that was about 2 spoonfuls. I ain't doing any measuring. I'm not doing any weighing. And what I do then is I generally spin the egg ring away like that. You just bring, if you've got a bit of a frayed edge, bring it in. And that's a nicely shaped burger. So, there's our burger out of the air fryer. Very little shrinkage, juicy. See the juice coming out of it. Let's give it a little cut. Not stringy at all. Now then, that doesn't look half bad, does it? Just imagine that between a bun and a bit of mustard, a bit of tomato sauce. Wow, that's dynamic then. So if you want to give them a go, I can put the recipe below for you. It's very, very simple. You're going to need a grinder. The grinders are not expensive. You can pick them up in most appliance stores now, most home appliance stores. Anyway, if you liked it, like it. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. If your friends are going to like it, share. And if you've got anything to say, drop us a comment, we'll give you an answer. Till next time, ta-da!